8:11's the time, AM 650 KGAB Radio. My name is Glenn Woods. Thanks for joining me. Sitting in the studio with me, looking all nice and tight and suited up and everything, is Austin Hine, Wyoming Liberty Group. And we're going to be talking about several things today, education and job creation among them. So let's start with the education theme that you brought with us today.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, Glenn. I have to look good for you when I'm on air.
Of course, yeah. Well, for those who don't know, I turn on the video cameras when these guys are in, so, and those who didn't know that I was going to do that complained because, well, I would have at least put on something nice or something like that. So, okay, looking good. What you got for us?
Well, so I want to preface this that I went to a Chamber of Commerce event on Tuesday, and it was a great, really nice event. But it was a panel of legislators, including Representatives Brown, Henderson, Wilson, Burlingame, Nicholas, and Senator Nethercott. And they took a lot of questions from the audience and addressed a few different things. I want to kind of go into one of the questions that was asked, and then the answer is in how that kind of entails. One of the questions that was asked from the crowd was a concern with how much we spend on education. Mm. We spend $16,000 per year per student on K through 12 education, and that is 7th in the nation compared, and that's a lot for Wyoming. And considering our financial structure, there's a question as to see how optimal that is. Now, when the question was asked, part of the question was, how do we justify such a big number? And we had Representative Brown say, well, it's in the Constitution. And so I kind of want to address that answer. In the Constitution, we have a guarantee to provide public education. And there's no denying that. Just about all 50 states have a similar provision. But ours seems to be the only one that I can tell that has been used as an argument to just shovel more and more money towards this pit. And I think that's a concern. We say, well, are we spending our dollars wisely? Are we using this correctly? Are we doing everything we can to preserve taxpayer dollars and the integrity of the budget? And the only ever answer is, well, it's in the Constitution. So that's a big concern to me. It's often cited that the Campbell cases say that we need to do this, but that's not the case. If you read the Campbell decision, it just has nothing to do with that. We have a very rural state, obviously, and
so for those who don't know, let's describe what was the Campbell case all about. What was the decision?
The decision basically just recertified that we need to provide this public education, okay. And then that's basically.
Does it basically talk about quality of education? Because I think that's probably where they're getting. Well, the Constitution says we have to spend this money. It talks about quality, but that doesn't define the terms of quality. And as you know, quality doesn't always mean you're spending more.
Right. Absolutely. And like you said, the quality thing, and we should provide a quality education to all these kids, but we also need to be careful with how we spend our money. We need to be very frugal in trying to maximize the effectiveness of our dollars.
Right.
Because it's not even just that it's the legislators' dollars. It's your dollars. It's as a taxpayer, and they're going around throwing it into a furnace, it seems. And one of the things that they'd used to justify such a high number was because of how rural the state is. And I don't know if you had read about the Albany County School. For those that don't know, there was a school that's in Albany County that's going to be opening up this year for one student.
We talked about that here on the air, and I looked at that and thought, okay, the amount of money that they want to spend for one student, I understand. Why couldn't the parents take some other kind of an option instead of spending all of that money just on one student? Was there a justification for something like that?
Well, that's what they were saying, is that this $16,000 figure is inflated because of students like that. And they're spending like $150,000 for this student for a year or something. And you have to wonder, did they go through all the options? Did they consider all the possibilities when they're talking about educating this child? From what I had read, there's a school that's not that far away from this student, but the road is often closed during the winter due to the snow conditions.
Couldn't get to them where they are. Did they get into how top-heavy we are in the state of Wyoming? Because my biggest complaint is when I look at the number of administrators we have, I'm concerned that we're spending so much money on administration, and we could simply just eliminate it and save a bunch of money.
Yeah, none of the representatives addressed that in this meeting, but that is a concern for me. Since the 90s, teacher salaries have stayed mostly flat, if not just staying with inflation. But administrator salaries have gone up tenfold during that same time period. So it's definitely a concern is to see this rapid expansion of administration costs in education.
Okay, well, let me ask you, because that I hadn't heard before.
Yeah.
So, in other words, it's not just that we've hired more administrators, and we've certainly done that, but their salaries are going up by how much?
The amount of money we spend on administration has gone up tenfold. So some of that is salary, some of that is just personnel. Yeah. So I should clarify that. And that's definitely a concern. And we're not even really sure where we're at in Wyoming as far as our administrator salaries because of schools aren't reporting a lot of their finances. And that's a whole other issue we can get into. But,
okay, well, hang on to that issue in just a moment. More with Wyoming Liberty Group in just a moment. It's AM 650.
This is the KGAB Wyoming Wake Up with Glenn Woods on AM 650 KGAB, where Cheyenne comes to talk.
Hey Cheyenne, this is your local farmers agent, Jeff Teasley. Recently, our agency was awarded Specialty Agency of the Year out of 13,000 farmers agents in the country. And on behalf of our team, I wanted to personally say thank you to our great community and our clients for helping propel us to this national award. We couldn't have accomplished this without you. Stop by 3904 Central Avenue at the corner of 6th and Central or give us a call today at 307-632-2180.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Save 11% on everything at Menards. It's the perfect time for a kitchen update. Explore the beautiful cabinets on display and find the style that's right for your home, knowing you can save 11% on all of it. Complement your cabinets with Riverstone Quartz countertop. Complete the project with a perfect faucet, backsplash, and floor. And save 11% on everything now at Menards. Good through March 9th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Is excess weight affecting your health? Have you decided to do something about it? The Weight Management Program at Consultants in Surgery at Cheyenne Regional Medical Group can help improve the health and well-being of people who are overweight and struggling with diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, and sleep apnea. Why wait? The time is now. To see if weight loss surgery is right for you, call 307-632-1114 or visit cheyenneregional.org/weight-loss.
Today's workforce is more different than ever. We not only want to earn a living, but we want to feel good about what we do. If you are looking for a place that not only cares about the well-being of its community, but helps out over 1,000 people in Wyoming each year with their social programs, and also rewards employees with bonuses for doing a great job, then you need to get in touch with Goodwill Wyoming. They're looking for talented, enthusiastic people just like you to join their retail team today. Talk to the manager at your local Goodwill location today to apply.
Any mom will tell you breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Fluffy scrambled eggs, sizzling bacon and sausage, spicy chorizo, crispy potato olays, and of course, nacho cheese. But who has the time to make all that? You? Your mom? Nope. But guess who does? Taco John's. We'll even wrap it up in a warm, tasty, easy-to-eat breakfast burrito for you. And get this, you don't even have to get out of the car to get it. Make your mom proud. Olay the day at Taco John's.
This ain't your grandma's talk show. Be here for the Glenn Beck program, weekdays at 4.
8:20 is the time. It's AM 650 KGAB Radio. My name is Glenn Wood. Thanks for joining me. All right. Oh, by the way, if you want to get in on this conversation, phone number to get involved, 632-6500. Sitting in the studio with me from Wyoming Liberty Group, Austin Hine. Am I saying that right?
You are.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, because the I and the E are in the wrong place.
Yeah, it's very Germanic.
Okay. So anyway, we're talking about a bit of a meeting that you had with. Now again, who was at the meeting here?
So we had Representatives Brown, Henderson, Wilson, Burlingame, Nicholas, and Senator Nethercott.
Okay, and we're talking about education and the money we're spending on education in the state of Wyoming. So did you get the impression that we made any headway in convincing them of how much money we should or shouldn't be? You're shaking your head no already.
No.
I haven't finished the question.
No. A lot of these legislators have either been misled to believe that they have to do this, or they're the ones doing the misleading. And I'm not going to be the one to tell you which way or the other, but something's off here, and we
Okay.
need to be able to try and clear the air on that.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. I don't mean to put you on the spot with your boss at Wyoming Liberty Group. What would you do in Wyoming education to fix the system?
Well, we need to take a hard look at all the money we're currently spending. Maybe that $16,000 is necessary, maybe it's not. But we need to be able to look through and really audit every number and really take a deep dive into that. The other thing we need to do is look at more cost-effective ways to provide education for kids. And that's going to be really, in my opinion, through choice initiatives. So one of the ways to do this is to increase charter school growth. Another way to do this would be through something like education savings accounts or vouchers. And a lot of times legislators will also tell you that there's constitutional problems with that. Let me tell you, there's not. I've consulted with multiple legal experts on this, and we have great ESA programs and voucher programs across the country that are operating under similar constitutional constraints as we are, and they're not having these problems.
Grab your headphones real quick because you got a call coming in here. This is Glenn. Who's on the phone with us?
Good morning, guys. This is Cody in Carpenter.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks a bunch for coming on. I really appreciate the information you're getting out to us. A comment about the administrators, which, growing up in a teaching family, my wife, my mother, my grandmother, all teachers, always kind of involved with school politics, sometimes more than I want to be. But the way I understand is, like if I look at our district, basically half of the funding has come from these federal sources. And they claim that they need all these administrators because of these requirements in taking this federal money. I always look at it, and it's like half of our budget comes from the feds, but they require all these additional expenses. I mean, I almost think we could run without the federal money and not have all this control. So I guess I'm just asking, it appears that they can't really get rid of too many of these administrators because they're trying to comply with all these federal laws. What was your thoughts on that?
See, that's something I haven't heard. That doesn't mean, you might be right there, and I just haven't looked into that, and that's something I'll have to look into. But it wouldn't surprise me if the feds had that many tie-ins that they're telling people who they can hire and how many people they need to hire.
Well, and part of what he's talking about, there was a story that came in that here in the state of Wyoming, we got some more money from the feds, and immediately our state went and hired some more administrators. And a caller called into the program complaining about that. My answer was, feds are saying, and here's what, sometimes when that money comes in, take the money, but we end up just growing the bureaucracy and not spending it where it's needed.
Right. So that'll be something I'll look into as soon as I get back to the office, because that's pretty interesting to me, if that's the case.
Okay. So did you, any positives from this meeting, or is it, you're just going to, he's already laughing. I haven't finished the question.
We had some great response on blockchain technology, but that's a whole other conversation.
It's a whole other conversation. Oh, so what do we do here then?
Oh, I don't know what to tell you on that, Glenn. It's going to be a whole thing. I think we need to be really forceful when we're talking to legislators. Telling them this is how it is, and you guys need to get this cleared up and get this fixed.
Okay, because the reason I say that is, thankfully, this past legislative session, we ended up not having any new taxes come our way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they were going to take those taxes and send it to our schools. Of course, my answer is you take those taxes, you send it to our schools, all you're going to end up doing is becoming deeper in debt as you find more ways of spending that money and not on the problem. So, okay, what we need to do is figure out our school budgeting. I'm still maintaining we got to reduce the size of the bureaucracy first. So you're saying, what, take it to the people?
I take it to the people and make sure the people take it to the legislators.
Okay. Well, they have to figure it out because the next legislative session, as you know, that's going to be a budget session, and they need to have it fixed by then. So they got like a year to figure this out. What's Wyoming Liberty Group going to be doing?
Well, we're going to be keeping track of the governor's report. We're going to be watching that very closely. We're definitely going to be fighting any new tax increases. We do not need tax increases to pay for education. And don't let anyone ever tell you that.
Okay.
Real
quick before I let you go, you did bring in something on job creation? Yeah.
So I do want to point out another comment that Representative Brown had made at this meeting. He said that, and I'm really kind of approximating this quote, that every new non-energy sector job is a burden to Wyoming. And that's that quote is alarming to me.
Where is this guy from?
You know, off the top of my head, I want to say Sheridan. I'm not sure. I don't want to.
What's his full name?
Landon Brown.
I'll look it up while you're talking.
All right. Yeah. And it really, this is just a fantasy. I don't know why he would say something like that. When you're talking new jobs in Wyoming, and you're talking either new people or people to fill them that we already have, and you're talking families that are fed, you're talking, you know, new revenue that's happening in the cities and in the towns. They're paying for groceries. They're paying for supplies. This is economic growth, and we need that. And if someone says that new jobs are a bad thing, we're in some real problems.
Yeah, sounds like he's here in Cheyenne. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is where I would like to ask him exactly what he was talking about there, because I'm tempted to say, if you're taking at face value of what you heard, that he doesn't understand how an economy works. But hang on, here's another call. This is Glenn, who's on the phone.
This gentleman on from Liberty Group, they were wonderful. This is Maureen from Cheyenne.
Mm-hmm.
Just a comment, you know, there wouldn't be so much squawk about the money, perhaps, that is being spent on education if we saw any results. But the majority of schools in this district alone are less than 50% proficient in most of the subjects that they're teaching. So, you know, we're not getting our buck's worth of money that is being spent. And I'm the one that called in about them, and it wasn't statewide, it was this district hiring 7 new administrative people because of the new federal funds that they have coming in. So, you know, it just goes on and on. The discussion about the education here in this district has been going on just about from the time that I moved here, which is 15 years ago. So it seems to be never ending. But thank you for the research that you've done, and I really hope that we can find out some answers. I would like to know specifically what exactly is the dollar amount being spent on administration.
Okay, that's a good question. Thank you very much. You got about 30 seconds to answer that.
I don't have a good answer for that. Unfortunately, the schools aren't turning over their financial statements, so we don't really know how much we're spending on administrators.
Hopefully that changes soon with transparency.
Hopefully so. Thank you for your call, Maureen.
Okay, and where do people find your work at Wyoming Liberty Group?
We're at WYLiberty, that's WYLiberty.org.
Okay, thanks for coming on. For those people who are sticking with me, we're coming up on News Time.